What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to my Dungeon Defenders Awakened speedrun to Massacre mode. In this particular series, I'm going through and trying to get to Massacre in the fewest total amount of maps played. Now, it has been a while since my last episode. I do apologize for that. I'm at the grindy part of the series, and I've got some family in town at the moment. So this is my 6th overall run, and for this one we're going to be jumping back on in to Insane Survival, Ancient Mines. Taking a look through my stats. Here is my Dryad. We've got an Apprentice, which I have yet to use yet. We've got the Huntress, which I should be bringing gas traps into the mix here pretty soon. We have got the Monk, using the Monk mainly for ensnare auras, so I've got everything dumped into range with Fortify from all of my armor. The EV, all power, all day. We are using the Proton Beams, and now that we're past level 20, we're going to be using Buff Beams as well. And then the Rogue. My Rogue, of course, is full on attack. I actually have no stat in. How about that? Let's go ahead and throw that in. How weird. It's there now, but it wasn't there before, assuming we've got a little bit of a bug with that. Yeah, there we are. So we're full on full on attack on the Rogue, and getting it done with that. So let's hop on in. This is run number 6. I'll probably get run number 6 and 7 done on this playthrough, as this particular one, as I mentioned, it is just the grind phase. I am going to go ahead and toggle on hardcore now, and let's hop on in to the Ancient Mines on Survival. Now, I do have it unlocked up to Wave 12. However, I am going to do a Wave 1 start once again to try to make it through as far as I can. Now, I will jump through this video, as I'm not going to force you all to watch me run Ancient Mines Survival over and over again, but we are going to jump on in and get things started here. And here we are in Wave 3. We're going with a slightly different build this time. I've got 2 5DU and 1 3DU Proton Beam on each of these lanes. I've got a little root as kind of a makeshift wall, and then 3 Wisps in the back, all on a Buff Beam. And then over here we've got 2 Wisps and 3 Protons as well. Now on this side I did have 1 extra DU. So we went with a 4DU Proton Beam in the middle, and this will be our stronger side. Now this, of course, this build could change throughout. Mixed emotions on it already. I did put a couple of upgrades into my weapon, so I spent a little bit of gold to make this weapon hit a little bit harder. As really what got me last run, of course, is the Ogres. So I will put as many upgrades as possible into this particular weapon that I can prior to the heavier Ogres getting here. And hopefully I am able to burn right through them. But here we are on run number 6 with the build completed. It is hopefully as we're gonna have it throughout, and we will just go ahead and throw in upgrades wherever possible. Of course, I can only upgrade a few times now because of my level. However, we will get things up as far as we can. Let's go ahead and move on forward till we get this rounded out and upgraded fully and see how it holds up. And here we are on wave number 13. Now this is the wave I lost on last time, and although things are going way smoother this time, the Ogres did push all the way in and start taking some shots. So I think I'm going to change the build up just a little bit. I'm going to get rid of both of these inside Proton Beams, which is going to free up 6 DU. And then I think I am going to go with a wall out here. Now I think we're going to have to get rid of our Reflex as well to replace them. And let's go with a blocking field, just 2 DU right across here. We'll throw the Reflect Beam directly in front of it. And then let's go with a blocking field here. Now I thought about just moving the Wisps up, or moving the roots up for the Wisp. However, I feel like the blocking fields are going to be a little better to get me through this one. But let's see how it goes. I mean, if the Ogres are one-shotting these, then of course we're going to want to make some changes. And then that's going to leave me 2 DU. I can do the same thing over here. So just going to get a blocking field, a little 2 DU blocking field right out front. and then move the reflect beam there. So I've got lots and lots of mana saved up here, of course, since I can't upgrade anything any further. So we will be able to get some upgrades onto those items. In fact, we can even upgrade the reflects now. Not that we need to at all, but let's just go ahead and get them upped. And now let's see how we do against these ogres. Now, it's all about the ogres. The trash mobs, of course, are just burning, and those are not really much of an issue, including the Dark Elf Warriors at this point. I've been hiding up top here, and then, of course, when the Dark Elves come underneath me, they're in range of the Wisps. So the Wisps are able to take care of those. But let's see how we fare against these ogres. So if we can hold the ogres, it's basically a win, right? As that is what it's all about, no doubt. I think the next run, I'm going to build it a little differently. And maybe actually, because I put all of that fort into the Wisps on the gear. So I'm thinking maybe I want to... use those roots as actual walls instead of putting in power walls. These walls, of course, are full power with no fort at all. So they are not going to do very well. And here we go. Here's our first candidate. Come on down, Mr. Ogre. Let me just avoid that snot ball. I am trying to get as much damage in on him up front as I can. There's Lalta. And as soon as they get into the protons, I'm going to go ahead and focus on stunning them up. Make sure to pop your stealth there, as your stealth is going to give you a little bit of a damage boost. And that ogre went down with no problems. Let's check out this one. I might have to put a repair in on those walls as we're going here. In fact, I could have saved my upgrade for a repair, but it looks like I just wanted to see if they were going to get one shot. They actually did get destroyed, but not a one shot. Maybe I want to rethink this. I'm spending, what, 4 DU over here. I could actually move the trees up, put an additional one there. Maybe just use these trees as a wall. You see they're 14,000 health versus 2,200. I think that's the way to go. This, the EV walls, especially when the walls are not designed to withstand any sort of onslaught at all. They just don't have enough health. So let's just do the right thing. We'll get the roots moved up and use it as a wall. That's actually going to free up a little bit of DU. And I think maybe I'll go with another Wisp. And I'll get rid of this center. Maybe get rid of this center proton beam as well. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll change it on up. We'll get rid of that. I'm going to have to replace the reflect as well. We got plenty of mana right now to play around with stuff, so now's a great time to be moving things around. And we want to use these as a proper wall. Now, I want them to be out of Ogre Cleave range. So let's go to right about there. I don't want my Wisps getting cleaved, you know. Let's go right about there, and we'll go right about here. Now, of course, if I would have planned for this and put them on the buff beam, we'd be even better, in better shape here. But let's just go ahead and give them a reflect as we were. We'll give this one a reflect as well. And I think these will hold... I mean, these are going to be pretty durable in comparison, right? So they're going to hold up way, way better than those little EV walls we're doing. Let's move this one on up as well. And where do we want to put this one? I think maybe just right about there is good and outside of Ogre Cleave range. We'll get our reflect beam back here, and that is actually going to leave me 9 DU. Well, I mean, there's a lot that can be done with 9, right? We can go one more reflect beam, plus we could get 2 more wisps down. I think we'll just go with the wisp route. Let's put another wisp, say right here, and we'll get another wisp over on this lane as well, and then we'll have enough coin, or enough mana, pardon me, to get those fully upgraded. Let's see, let's jack that one all the way up. Let's jack this one all the way up. We got 1 DU left, and I feel like putting it into another reflect beam is only smart. But where would we put it? Let's see. Maybe just right across the center here? I'll definitely be rethinking this build for the next run for sure. If we went right across the center, we'd get a little bit of blocking from those ogres in the back, but that one's pretty much all but pointless. But let's go ahead and push it on forward and see how far we can make it on this run. And here we are back at wave 25. So we made it all the way through the survival. I've got just a sickening amount of loot to go through. And most of it I'm probably not even going to be able to use yet. However, there will be some really fat upgrades. So I didn't go through and swap any gear throughout, but I did put points in. So we're level 44 now. If we're able to complete this, we're going to be all the way up to level 45 or 46. And it's debatable on whether or not I should even jump in for another survival run. I was planning on doing one more. I wanted to get up to level 55 before I went through the campaign, just to try to get to a point where I was going to be close to level 70 by the time I finish the campaign. However, I may just go ahead and get it, as this run has just gone wildly successful. So moving the roots up front definitely was payday. I'm able to repair them super quick. Of course, I've got cast rate on one of my weapons, which is helping me with just super fast repairs. So let's go ahead and let wave 25 run here, and we'll see how it's going. Now remember, the Dark Elf or the Dark Elf warriors are really quite the challenge. If you're going to run down there, they're going to get all uppity on you. But do remember, you've got your Umbral form or Stealth, which is going to drop aggro of anything that's up in your business at the time. This is also really good if you've got an ogre that's pounding away on your roots and you pull aggro away from it. You can always pop your Umbral form and the ogre will go right back to swinging away on the roots. So very important to use that on the rogue. If you're playing on the EV, of course, you've got the decoy, which is just a huge asset. But we are making our way through, and I'm hoping to be able to close this one out. We'll see how it goes here for the final wave, of course. And just kind of burning. Now, if any of my roots take a lot of damage before the ogres get there, then, you know, I am popping down and healing them up. Another thing, too, starting in the super late waves, like I think it was wave 23 or 24, the ogres weren't coming out until almost the very end, which made it so there was no other mobs around to deal with, which made it quite easy to deal with the ogres, as I could just jump down, make sure to spam repair on those roots, and that's it. Just kind of chillax and burn through the ogres as they got just pelted by the wisps and then those proton beams. So the ogres are stepping out of the beams a little bit when they come down. They have wised up a little bit to my ways. Like I said, it's debatable. I'm not sure whether or not I want to do another map. I guess we're going to have to look through the upgrades. You know, we'll look through the loot and see if there's anything good. And, you know, this is going to be... It's going to take me forward leaps and bounds. And there will be quite a bit of loot here that I'm completely unable to use. So it'll be important to keep an eye on that as well. And we finally got our first ogre down here. We've got Index. Let's just get some shots in on it, and I want to keep an eye on that root. I can't repair it from up here, which, boy, that would have been nice, huh? But I can repair it from, say, right over here. We've got two ogres on the same lane now, and they're the last two mobs. So I'm going to save my Umbral form and just spray into these guys. Going to try to get my devices up on both of them. You see, Index is down, and now all we have left is Pinky. And we're able to just kind of stay back here safely and keep our root repaired now. The snot balls, of course, are doing a little AoE. We want to keep an eye on them. And we're not exactly dishing out the pain as far as our personal DPS that the character is putting out. But that will come. You know, that will come as we get some better weapons. And it's looking like GG's. Now, I'm going to get my first giraffe pet here. I got the rock, which my rock ended up being kind of a POS. But I'm going to get my first giraffe pet here, which is going to take my DPS up leaps and bounds, but additionally, remember, I'm going to get that 5% versatility bonus, which is a builder bonus. So just by equipping this giraffe right here, where you at, giraffe? Oh, and I can even use it. It's level 45. So I got vitality, attack, and ability. huge stat increases there for my giraffe. I'm going to go ahead and equip that bad boy right now. Good stuff there, and that it's going to give me the builder bonus too. So all of my defenses just got a 5% boost in the damage output they are doing. So I'm not certain yet. If I do pop through and do this map again, I'll make sure to record it for you. However, we got a win on our second try here, so good stuff, no doubt. I probably will have to revisit this map again before getting level 70 unlocked, but at this point I've got kind of mixed emotions on what I want to do. Should I just go ahead and jump right to the campaign now? Should I do one more survival run and do like a late start, like maybe a wave 15 start or something like that? I'm not positive quite yet, but that will do it for this episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see ya next time around in this Massacre speedrun in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Thanks again, y'all, and I will see you next time. Take it easy.